Good evening, everyone, or good morning, I should say. Good day in Australia
G'day.
because I've got Shauna Kay with me.
Yay! You know what, Paula? Live in New York, I thought there was going to be an applause track or something. That's what
Oh,
I was waiting for.
honey, I should, but I just figured this out, as I'm sure some people can tell you. Which is why every now and again they're like, "You look distracted." I'm like, "I'm trying to produce. You
I
have
know,
to leave
it's hard. It's
me alone."
hard. There's lots of buttons. There's lots of
Thank
things
you.
going on. Give the girl a break.
Exactamundo. And speaking of lots going on, whoa, we have to get into this. So I have been doing all royals today, everyone. Forgive me. I know. Americans are also involved in the Epstein files. And for all those people yelling at me about that, FYI, I did a video about it. So y'all can go back and look at it. But today, we are talking about royals. One moment, I'm going to do another little what? Add to. Yes, there's the royal family.
Yes,
Oh,
those
and
were the days.
girl,
Nice
it's a
full
mess.
balcony.
It is a huge mess. And here's the deal: a lot of people are wondering, what did Charles know, and when did he know it?
Well,
Especially,
I guess we
especially
can't
because
deny now, can we, with the latest email that has come out in 2019. But I've got something to say about that, and it's not a defense of Charles in any way.
please do.
But
I'm going to put the emails up so people know what we're
okay,
talking about.
that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah. Evidently, it was through his bankers too. No, his lawyers. Sorry, his
Yeah.
lawyers. It was delivered, and when you read it, it just looks a little bit lame, but it does have really pertinent information about David Rowland, which of course was in Andrew Loney's book. But I think Charles
Mhm.
was in a bit of a difficult position because there was, reference then at the time to a company being set up by Andrew and David Rowland in the British Virgin Islands.
Mm,
And at the time, Andrew was going around telling everybody that the then Prince Charles would probably find that a handy offshore little depository for some funds in a deal he was doing with some people in Qatar.
mm,
And so
mm.
that's sort of like, I don't know if it was true, but by Andrew saying that, definitely Charles would be implicated in some way. And the other thing I guess is really interesting is this was in August 2019. Well,
Mhm.
by November of the same year, the Queen stripped all of Andrew's titles, which everyone put down to the Newsnight interview. But I'm guessing that stripping of the titles takes a little bit longer than just a TV interview and right, you're stripped. I think there would have had to have put protocols been put in place. So I'm
Mhm.
suspecting that it could be possible that Charles went and spoke to his mother in relation to these emails, and 4 months later, Andrew was stripped of everything, because I
Yes.
think the co-monarchy thing's been overstated a little bit. I'm not in denial about it, but I think
Mm.
it's been overstated, because although Charles may know, could he actually do anything? Could he take action? Because he had no power.
That's true. That's true. I believe that. But the problem is then his mother dies and he's still aware of the damage. And so let me just read this for you guys. I'm going to put the emails back up. The Daily Mail had this amazing exclusive today, and it was basically a whistleblower told the palace that the royal family's name was being abused by Andrew again in 2019. He was, or his butler or his personal person, his top guy, and his lawyer received this from a whistleblower that said HRH, the Duke of York's actions suggest that His Royal Highness considers his relationship with David Rowland more important than that of his family. The whistleblower then sent a second email copying in Clive Alderton, Charles's private secretary, and Mark Bridges, the late Queen's solicitor at Farrar & Co., saying the evidence provided unequivocally proves that you have abused the royal family's name. Now, Andrew also told Jonathan Rowland he'd had a very supportive chat with Prime Minister David Cameron and Labour leader Ed Miliband, apparently at Prince William's wedding in April 2011, when questions were being raised over his trade envoy position following the Mail's publication of the now infamous photograph of him clutching 17-year-old Virginia Giuffre. And Andrew secretly used an official trade mission to help strike a multi-million-pound deal for his business associates to sell oil to China with the hope of making, quote, tons of money. With Epstein. And a British ambassador warned the government more than 2 decades ago that Andrew's behavior as a trade envoy was damaging his country and the royal family. So here's the deal, Shauna. I have talked to Andrew Loney, as have you, and he has seen documents about Andrew's bad behavior. He has heard about all the prostitutes and all the bad business deals. And he's written about suitcases of cash given to Andrew in exchange for who knows what. And, Andrew made a very good point to me. He said, if I'm getting this information, there's no way in HE double hockey sticks that the king isn't. So,
well, I don't think there's any argument because even as far back as 2011, there was, an assessment into Andrew, which of course, as soon as there's an assessment by the Met Police, it prompts notification to the Home Office. If the Home Office is notified of anything, it goes straight to the palace. Any senior royal being assessed goes straight to the palace and the Home Office. And then there was another one in 2015. Interestingly, the year of those emails, there was another assessment that commenced in 2019, and that ran for 2 years with no conclusion. So there was a lot happening behind the scenes. So there was an active assessment going on. 4 months later, he was stripped of everything. And I have no doubt that Charles knew, but I'm just saying that the responsibility, the ability to strip the titles or take any decisive action was down to the monarch. Because I don't think we can have this situation where we're sort of letting a monarch off the hook because she might be elderly or whatever, right? Yeah, and we all love her, but let her off the hook and then say, well, the co-monarch should have done something, because under the British Constitution, there is no such position with any power. And of course, I mean, I'm not naive. I know power is wielded behind the scenes, obviously, but it is said, and I'm not defending him because I'm not a huge Charles fan myself, but you can't tell that he wasn't sort of preparing his mother to strip those titles. Look, honestly, I think the fatal mistake Charles made was back in 2017 when he aligned himself with Andrew and he got rid of Christopher Guyte, who was the Queen's private secretary. Now, Christopher Guyte was one of the good guys. He was one of the ones who could have protected Charles against all this. And he aligned himself with Andrew and got rid of his one protection. And then now, from 2019, definite trail of information. But my argument is it goes back to 2011. The trail of information goes back to there.
100%. And the other thing is, I mean, Charles has a very bad habit. And by the way, I want to let everyone know out there, I actually like Charles. I actually like Camilla. I think
I'm just not a huge fan because I've read Rebel King.
Yeah. Well,
have you read Rebel King by Tom Bauer?
I will tell you that one of my very best friends was Joan Rivers' niece. And so Joan Rivers and I became very close. And she loved King Charles and Camilla. They were randomly really good friends. She would go over to England all the time and hang out with them. I mean, it was hilarious. And I've always had a thing, to be fair. If Joan liked you, I kind of like you too. If Joan did not like you, you must be a real you-know-what, because Joan was very generous. So I've always kind of liked King Charles and Camilla, but the issue is, at least for me, he seems to have gotten rid of anyone who will say no to him. It's still, while he I think he has done an admirable job. I think he was on the forefront of things like the environment and organic eating and a bunch of stuff where everyone just poo-pooed him. But
Yeah, true.
at the same time, anytime someone says, no, this should not be happening, or you need to be stronger, he has not been able to do so. A lot of these things, the stripping of the titles, the move from Royal Lodge, a lot of these things could have and should have been done all at once a couple of years ago when he had the information, so that when this came out, and I think a lot of people across the pond here were kind of hoping the Epstein files would never come out, and they were banking on it, quite frankly. But now it just looks like, geez. And now it kind of implicates him a little bit in my mind of just like, oh, just let him go. Just let it go for as long as we can. Oh, wait, someone's heckling me. Okay, I've got to do something now. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about
Well,
things.
yeah, well, Charles is really sensitive, I think, to people not liking him. And it probably goes back to being really badly bullied at Gordonston,
Yes.
probably. I mean, I think if I was visiting him at Highgrove and we were, Stanley Tucci was there and we were all having an Italian meal and martinis, I'm sure I'd get on really well with him too. I
Best
think
night
he's a
ever.
very likable character.
It's,
But I'm just a little bit wary because of the way he conducted his
uh-huh.
court as Prince of Wales. There was a lot of
Mhm.
deals going on, and not necessarily criminal, nefarious, or under the radar, as is implicated with Andrew Mountbatten
Right.
Windsor, but definitely a lot going on. And then you've got all the Dumfries House thing, the cash for honours thing that
Yes.
was, via his valet.
Which,
So,
again, by the way, who the hell carries around 5 million in a fancy bag in cash if you're not a drug dealer, a cartel member, a murderer for hire? Fill in the blank.
or a member of the Saudi royal family or something.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
is
look, at
ridiculous.
least be
It's called a
eco.
wire
Paper
transfer.
bag.
I,
Paper bag.
I still believe there was more than 5 million because, if it's in cash, you don't really know how much was in that bag. And some could have gone to, I don't know, buy some shoes.
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
I do think at
always.
some point the clamoring is going to get louder for William to step up. And speaking of,
No, no,
no,
no,
you don't?
no, no
Oh,
way. Well, look at the logic of this argument. Look at this logic of this argument. Okay,
Tim. Mhm,
everyone's whinging about that
mhm,
Charles was, a co-monarch, yet he didn't do anything to stop it. He knew
mhm,
everything, and
mhm.
then they're calling for William to step up as a co-monarch. Why would he? When he sees the flack his father has copped by being implicated by knowing all this stuff, he needs to keep his hands clean and well away from all this until it's all settled.
Well, I think to be fair, I believe that the anger and the fury is rising, and he may have to step up sooner rather than later. But speaking of William, he and Catherine went to the BAFTAs last night. And can we just discuss this photo for one hot second? Because,
Yeah. Gucci.
door.
Gucci. Pink and
And,
cream Gucci.
and
Yeah, I
look at
think
the
we
matchy
needed a
matchy.
Gucci moment.
Yes. Matchy matchy. He's got the maroon velvet jacket. She's got the maroon velvet belt. I'm down with that,
Well,
but
you are so sarcastic, Paula. You are just
I wasn't being sarcastically
I can
intentional with that.
see underneath the look. It's very good for photographs to be toned. You
I
need to
love it.
be
Honey, I
toned
know I
and
come off sarcastic sometimes, and 99% of the times I am, but trust and believe, I love this look for them. I do.
I love Catherine in that dress. I mean, she just nails the princessy thing. And I think, look, we needed a princessy moment. We
Mm,
needed a moment that was glamorous and wholesome and
mm,
Gucci darling. We
yes,
needed it
yes,
desperately.
I
Yeah,
agree. But you know what
yeah,
we also needed was a little bit of honesty, which William gave us. So hold on, guys. I'm going to read this out exactly. At the BAFTAs,
yes.
Prince William said he is not in a calm state, and that he's not in the right frame of mind to watch Hamnet.
Yeah.
And, he said I needed to be in a calm state and I'm not at the moment. I will save it. And I
Yeah.
love how, and of course, Catherine said she had watched Hamnet and that she was in a flood of tears, as
Yeah.
anyone would be watching that movie.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, I love how I mean, that was to me him alluding to what happened with former Prince Andrew. How about you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think what he was trying
Mm.
to do is not ignore the obvious, not ignore the elephant in the room. And also on the back of his recent podcast for life hacks, where he was talking about emotional regulation, recognizing your own feelings, not piling yourself up with more if you're already not coping. So I
Oh,
think he was trying to have some continuity there where he can, you know, further the message he was trying to get across in that program and sort of display emotional regulation
mhm,
for the masses.
mhm.
And I think it's a good thing because, look, would this whole mess have occurred if more powerful men concentrated on their emotional regulation, self control, and self awareness?
Mhm. Well,
There is
oh,
that argument.
can we also just discuss for one, speaking of emotional control and regulation, we've got this lady here, Fergie, who barely spent Christmas, New Year's, and the entire month of January at the world's most expensive wellness mental health spa, Paracelsus in Switzerland for a meager 17,000 US dollars a night. I mean, that's like
Yeah.
this is okay. I'm going to take this down for 1 second because OMG, Shauna, that is over $500,000, not including tax. Which I don't know if they have tax in Switzerland, but still chunk o change. And
Yeah.
come on, lady. And of
Yeah.
course she's so self-absorbed and navel-gazing. It's all about poor me, my life is falling apart. What do I do?
Yeah.
Oh, all this
Yeah.
stuff. And then, of course, we all know that she got the trip for free because she gave this exclusive to the Telegraph last year,
Yeah.
um, talking about how paralysis changed her life and that it was an amazing experience and did a huge photo shoot. Once again, I have to get that back up because, no offense, they did a lot of retouching on that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we've seen the most
Vaseline
recent
lens, baby.
photos. A facelift don't go backwards. Trust me.
No.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And so of course she got it for free and she got this last one for free too. And I'm thinking it might be one of the last big freebies she gets. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. But also, isn't it just so dismaying that it didn't work? I mean, the last year. Because, I mean, why would any clinic think that she was good advertising for the brand? I
Oh,
mean, it's like, don't come to us because you'll end up like Fergie.
yeah,
I mean,
totally. And
it
also, by
just,
the way, you're talking about your traumas, Fergie? Your traumas? Your mother left the family. I get it. A lot of people are from broken homes, but what
yeah,
about the traumas of the women in Jeffrey Epstein's trafficking ring? The women
exactly.
that she came across at all times and thought they were just cute young things hanging around.
Yeah, yeah. And also the fact that she had a go at Virginia Giuffre, the salacious lies comment. I mean, that interview did not age well. But I think she's
No.
getting a bit of flack in an area that I didn't expect, which was really interesting. And
Mm,
that's the fact that people are noticing that when she had the Duchess title and when she was actually living still at Royal Lodge with all the perks and
mm,
servants and chefs and everything,
mm.
that she was fine, she was happy, and Andrew was one of the best people she'd ever met. But
Ever met.
now she's lost the lot. She doesn't want to know him. She's not. And there's all
Hardball
these
Friday left the
comments.
building. I mean,
Yeah,
she ran
yeah.
from the building.
Yeah. Yeah,
She
and
did
a
not.
lot of people are commenting. I expected her to come back and be at least not defend him, but be with him, because then maybe the public
Yeah.
would think, well, look, she genuinely had feeling for this guy. But now she just looks like who she is. attaching herself to whoever benefits her at the time. She's completely transactional.
100%. And also, now she's supposed to be hiding out in the Middle East and UAE or Qatar, and you're just like, huh? Who? I
Did you
mean,
read the Mail? Did you read the Mail on Saturday?
I
They
did.
reckon she's in the UK. They
No, no,
reckon.
no,
No,
no.
she's definitely over Emirates.
Yeah, they've done
Yeah.
several stories since then saying she's in the UAE.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought,
Qatar.
yeah, where would she be hiding if she was in the UK? But it
Well,
was
if
a
she
I
was in
don't
the
have any money
UK,
story.
like, if she was in the UK, I mean, first of all, there are literal hound dogs with her scent. They know
Yeah,
the perfume. They would have
yeah,
sniffed her
yeah,
out, been around. Everyone knows who her friends are, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And in the UAE, in the U in Qatar, in the Middle East, it's illegal for paparazzi. So she is
Right.
kind of
So she's
somewhat
safe.
safe
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
But it's also like, man, someone better have 500K a month to spend on that girl because she don't know when to turn that tap off.
And why would they now? Do they have any punch now? Do they have any connections? I mean, whoever is in charge of this massive network that they were a part of, I mean,
Mhm.
Epstein's died, but the protection and the cover up's still continuing. So evidently, there's still Mr. Biggs out there, right?
Oh,
Whoever is doing that,
mhm.
have they outlived their usefulness?
Well, here's the deal. I know for a fact that in the Middle East, if you are a blood prince, you are still considered a blood prince to them. Fergie was married to a prince, so she's in a bit of a sticky place. However, she
Yeah,
still does have some defenders, which is, I mean,
extraordinary.
yeah,
Yeah,
it is. It really, really is. And
yeah.
I have I put this banner up too late, the massive freebie from a wellness center. I will not get over that.
I know
Like I've
it's not
taken
good
some trips
optics.
in my life as press, but after 3 days, they're like, TikTok, get out. And you're like, okay, I get
Yeah. Do you think she's got immunity? Do you think that maybe she's telling them what she knows?
I don't know. And I also don't know if it's worth anything, to be fair, because what she knows, she's continually lied throughout the years.
Yes, true.
She's
Yeah.
continually, what does an ostrich with its head in the sand know? Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Well,
you're all over the Epstein files anyway,
yeah.
begging for money, trying to introduce him to people, trying to
Yeah.
be whatever he wanted her to be. So I'm not sure how useful is that. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
And she doesn't seem to have been along on any of the Randy Andy parties. So,
No.
for all the people saying, oh, she's going to turn evidence, what evidence does she have? You know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, there's tons of evidence against her. So
Mm.
they already went after the big gun and they've got the big gun. And I don't know if they need any evidence from her. I think they've got perfectly enough, especially after they get these Stansted airport records, especially
Mm.
after they talk to all of his bodyguards and all of the other people who were forced to work for him for years. They
Mm.
all kept notes and no
Yeah.
one bothered to look until now. So,
No, 15 years. 15 years ago, they would have got the same information, but now
mm,
it's important. It's just crazy. I think I'm
yes.
wondering if Sarah is actually a bit of a masochist and is into public humiliation because she seems to keep going that way. I'm being serious. I mean, anyone that has had so much public humiliation yet keeps almost putting herself in that position,
Mhm.
I'm wondering whether she sort of gets off on it or something. I don't,
I'll
I don't
tell you what she
know.
gets off on. She gets off on cash, period.
Yeah.
I don't think she
Mm.
gets off on anything else. I think that she's literally like, I'm back. I
And
want
where is it
to.
all? Where is it all?
Well, I don't
Millions
think
and
he has
millions and
any.
millions.
I know he has some. He has. He never spent a dime of his, but yet sold his house for millions. Got
Mm.
money from his grandma. Got money from his mom.
Yeah.
And he don't like to spend anything. So I'm sure there's a Cayman Island bank account somewhere that he can still draw from. It's just that
Yeah.
they don't like to. So,
No.
but, you know, I need to speak with you about, hold on, I'm gonna put it up. Hold on. This right there, commemorative edition, a plate. I do love, so apparently somebody tacked up his arrest
In the
photo
Louvre.
on the
Yeah.
wall in the Louvre.
That was classic. I saw that this morning and I thought, wow, that's pretty clever. I love that because it is a piece of art.
It is just like this commemorative plate. I'm sure someone
Yeah.
at the Franklin Mint may or may not ever sell
I
it.
wonder if he can do a runner now, though, Paula. Whether he'll get the opportunity.
You know, here's the deal. I think I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they've taken
Yeah.
away his passport. I don't know if he can. If I were him, I would have done a Fergie in
Yeah.
January and just been
He's
like,
not charged. He's still not charged.
he's not
And he's
charged,
supposedly free
correct?
to do whatever he wants. I mean, he is under questioning, but he isn't charged. I don't think they can take away your passport and stuff if you're not charged. But I think he would need aiding and abetting from the royal family in order to get out of there, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to help him at all.
No,
He's basically under
no.
house arrest. So,
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
They would be
yeah.
there.
Hold on. I'm
But I
trying to
got the shock
find.
of my life when the police came out the drive.
I
I thought,
mean,
I expected, a performative show of equal justice. I thought that would happen at some point because the tension was just rising. But I didn't
well,
expect him to be home.
it's funny that you say that. So, according to reports, this is hilarious to me. It was his birthday. And he had just finished breakfast. It was 8 o'clock. There was a knock at the door, and a bunch of policemen, including female police women,
Stripogram!
walk in. And he was like, take it off. But
Birthday
then all of a
present!
sudden, when he realized it wasn't a strippergram and that they were actually there to
Yeah.
take him away, apparently
Oh,
he
yeah.
wailed, "You can't do this to me. I'm the queen's son." As if I love that he treated the police like an F-list celebrity trying to get into a New York City club. Don't you know who
Yeah.
I am?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think he's delusional enough that he thought it just wouldn't happen on his birthday. So he was probably thinking he was going to flee,
I
but
know.
I'll have my birthday because they won't arrest me on my birthday. And
No,
then
of course
I'll.
not. I mean, he had his party planned with all 17 of his little teddies in bed. He probably had them all with like little party favors and party hats placed
I
properly
wonder if
on.
there's a police teddy. I wonder if they gave him one.
Oh shit. A
Little handcuffs.
commemorative teddy bear, if you will.
Yeah.
Hello,
For
Andrew.
your visit to the station today, Andrew, we're
Got it.
giving
Oh wait,
you this
better yet,
commemorative bear.
I've got my taxidermied bird. I call him Stanley. Hello,
Oh,
Andrew.
Stanley. Was
Here's
he
the
really your
commemorative.
bird in real life at one point?
No,
No. Oh, so you're not attached to Stanley?
I'm not. No, I'm not one of those
No,
girls.
no.
Although for a minute, when my last dog died, Carl, he was amazing. Carl with a
Oh,
K.
oh,
He was a little black haired,
of
black
course.
and brown, long haired dachshund.
Classy.
And for a minute, I did think about stuffing him because I couldn't let him go. But at the same time, I
Oh.
had just read Alan Alda's book about how his family dog got stuffed and was like, and
Yeah, no, no,
um,
no, not a good idea. Not
no,
a good idea.
no, he was
Yeah,
cremated
yeah.
instead. Yeah, I
Oh,
got
that's
over that bad
sad.
idea, but I do have Stanley. Um,
Okay. Well,
you
Stanley's a
know,
little bit creepy, quite frankly, but
oh
never
my God,
mind.
he's
Whatever,
totally creepy. He
whatever
makes me
comforts
laugh.
you, Paula.
Look at that. He's got a little fez on and he's got a jaunty tilt. Like, hello, let's
He
party.
does, but he's
You
dead
know,
and he's stuffed. But never
I
mind.
know. I'm honoring Stanley's life. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But
really.
anyway, the
Right.
stand-in, Stanley, the stand-in for
The
the
stuffed bird lady, I'm going to call you
you.
from now on. Here the cat ladies. Paula's the
Listen, I've
stuffed
got a
bird
crocodile
lady.
skull too from Australia. I almost married an Australian.
Oh, really?
Did Paul Armstrong?
Wow.
Gosh, lovely man. And so we would go, and I remember once I brought back a huge crocodile skull under my arm through the freaking TSA. And they scanned it and they're like, lady, what is this? And I was like,
There's drugs in the teeth.
oh my God. They brought over 10 guys before they let me go. But yeah,
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, this is
Anything to declare a crockhead. As you do. As you
trust me,
do.
I love TSA. They're my friends. But I
Apparently.
still love that, like Andrew, getting back to Andrew, I still love that this fool is just so completely out of it. He has absolutely no clue that the gig is up,
Yeah. I'm
you know.
surprised we didn't get an explanation for that. I really am surprised.
Mm,
I actually, the fact that we didn't was the moment that I thought he's going to get arrested, obviously for misconduct in public office, everyone, I
mhm.
am aware. But I just felt they might make a move because of that photo. And especially when we got no explanation, no reasonable explanation. I thought, ooh, they can't think of anything about this one.
The only problem is that if Andrew goes to jail, if, once again, the taxpayers will be paying for him.
Yeah. But a
Con-
bit, well, oh yeah, true, because he's actually private now, isn't he, at the Sandringham
Yeah, I
estate?
mean, Charles is footing
Yeah,
the bill for
yeah.
him and what other five sadomasochists still wanted to work for him.
I
I
think
mean,
the taxpayers will be willing to pay for Andrew in prison. I think
okay, you're right. You're
they'll be
right.
quite happy to do that. Yeah, they
Well,
might even
I think they'll be
volunteer to
much
pay more.
happier to pay for Andrew in prison than to pay for these two to get their security back.
Oh yeah, we haven't heard anything, have we? That
Well,
seems
we
to have
did and we
been
did.
a bit of a red herring, Paula.
We did and we didn't.
Yeah,
So, you know, what I love is that this couple puts out, via sources, wink, oh, God, it'll give me a tick, that, the to People Magazine and their other friendly outlets that they're going to get their security back. They've been assured they have it. And then during the Associated News lawsuit, when Harry flew over, he gave testimony the next day. He went to go support Elizabeth Hurley and mysteriously disappeared at lunchtime to go to the House of Lords.
yeah,
Wonder what he was talking about there.
yeah,
But you'd think that they would drop it like a hot potato onto the press if they got it. And they were supposed to have known at the end of January, beginning of February, and here we are,
yeah,
TikTok. And I
yeah,
think this whole thing has kind of scuppered the deal because, yeah, first of all, Keir Starmer is in a horrific position. The PM, Prime Minister, is widely loathed in England right now. And everyone's like, hey, buddy, Mandelson, you knew that he had Epstein contacts, but you still gave him a government position. And economically, they're not doing well. And I think if he did allow Harry and Meghan to get taxpayer funded security, I think
yeah.
people's heads might blow up. What do you think?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it would just be the end. It would just send people into apoplexy. They just would not be able to handle it
No.
at all. And also, I was very interested to read a very sympathetic sort of little piece in the Telegraph yesterday where they were espousing, how Harry worked very hard for the country for over 10 years and didn't put a foot wrong, other than the appearance as a Nazi at the fancy dress party. They did mention that, but they said,
Or
but
by the
other than
way,
that,
punching a photographer, or
yeah.
I love how they just like left the
Yeah,
ors.
they put it in, but they were doing a bit of PR. They were doing a bit of smoothing for Has, and through it's usually Penske Media. They have all their little digital rags that put out whatever Sunshine Sachs wants out there at the time, and there were little drops about the fact that they're not going to say anything,
No,
but they're feeling rather validated at the moment because
yeah.
we left the country when we found out about Andrew.
Oh, God, please. They didn't leave the country because of Andrew, Shauna. We all know this. They left the country because they couldn't do what they damn well wanted to do. And because
Yeah,
Meghan wanted to be the star and didn't want to have to bow to Catherine.
yeah,
But
hierarchy.
I love this.
Hierarchy in housing. She had a crummy house and she didn't want to walk behind Catherine for the rest of her
Yes,
life. And
right.
she even suggested, hey, royal family, get rid of the old lady. I could be the front of your brand.
Girl. Oh my God. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sucking on a nicotine pill and I'm about to choke on it. It is so bonkers, is it not?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and also, I love that they're like, well, we knew and we feel validated. Well, you know who else felt validated? William and Catherine. Because they've been saying since day one, no. Oh God, why did you invite him to this funeral?
yeah,
Why is he allowed to come to Sandringham? Why would they,
yeah,
So,
yeah,
I mean, sorry, Harry and Meghan. William and Catherine get to feel validated. You guys
yeah,
left
yeah,
because somehow Frogmore Cottage, the one with multiple bedrooms that got a 2 to 3 million pound, aka $4 to $5 million makeover, wasn't good.
yeah. Yeah, it's
So,
harder to stay. It's harder to
yeah,
stay and put up with the flack. It's harder to stay and try to convey with your face how much you hate your Uncle Andrew, which is what William's been doing for pretty much for the last 3 years. Every
but
time he's been stuck with him, it's like, look at my face. I
mm,
can't stand this guy. Get him away from me. And the other thing about Harry and Meghan is if they were really taking a moral stance and doing the freedom flight as a moral thing against
mm.
Prince Andrew, why do they keep their titles? Why did they keep their association with the royal family? Why have they grifted off it
Well,
ever
also,
since?
why did they insist that their children be prince and princess? When they
Yes.
said they had no interest in titles, their children were going to be normal. Nothing normal about,
Yeah.
Prince Archie or Princess Lily. But here's the deal. I think this entire Andrew thing has basically shown, and William 100%, and possibly Charles, that you can't have rando royals running around,
No. No.
because everything they do is going to really ruin the firm. And I
Yeah.
think at this point, Charles has just got to be like, it would be preferable if he did it as opposed to
Yes.
William, because, one of the reasons I think Charles was so kind of lackadaisical with Andrew is he didn't want to be seen as vengeful. Everyone knew
Yes.
that Andrew was a favorite son, and oh,
Yeah.
Charles is just being vengeful. Look at Charles. He's finally
Yeah.
getting his own back,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
would be a great gift to William if Charles was like, all right, enough, done with the
Yeah.
titles.
Yeah.
You and I can be father and son. If you would like a father-son relationship, 100%, please come visit. But
Yeah. Yeah.
no more titles.
Oh, of course, because Andrew Fergie 2.0. I mean, they talk about Empire 2.0. This is Andrew Fergie 2.0, and it's the only it's the only way. And look, Harry isn't the brightest spark in the box, and either was Andrew. And I mean, we don't even know if Harry's already compromised. I
Mm,
mean, I'm not saying he knows he is. I'm just saying he wouldn't know who he was talking to, why. I mean, he was sucked
right.
in by the prank as soon as he left home, the prank where he was talking to Greta Thunberg on the phone. There
Yeah,
was two people just, doing a prank, but
yeah.
he doesn't have the wherewithal without that palace machinery behind him. He doesn't have the ability
No.
to discern danger. I don't think. Obviously not. He married Meghan.
No red flags there, Shauna.
No,
No,
none at all.
no,
No
you gotta marry me
friends.
now. Red flags, Shauna.
No
That's
one at
crazy
the
talk.
wedding that she knew. no, no friends at all.
No
No
friends,
red flags. No red
no family except
flags.
for her mother.
Yeah. Yeah. And she managed to, and even now, wouldn't he be looking at her? Okay, when the first lot of bullying allegations came
Mm,
out prior to the Oprah Winfrey interview, I can understand he'd think, oh no, they're just having a go at her because we're about to tell all on Oprah. So I can understand that. But then when Vanity Fair come out with it and the Hollywood Reporter come out with it, isn't there a point that has to think, there seems to be something to this. A
right.
lot of people are backing up this story.
Sometimes enough coincidences are actually a pattern. And
Yeah,
also, it's just kind of like, also, no offense, he knew even before that at the
yeah,
palace. William
yeah,
had been like, come on, the staff is revolting, you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
And they're saying, stop it. And he, who had always treated staff as family members, now was watching all this. And all, and
Yeah.
it's happened over and over again. I mean, they have staff fleeing left, right, and center.
Yeah.
So
I think
I
the
think it's
people
going to be
slumped
interesting.
across their desks crying might
Yeah.
have been a clue, because
Or no
Harry
offense,
said in
if
his
you
in his
if
memoir.
don't, or if you're, by the way, face of a mental health charity, and people leave you and need mental health, like need mental health counselors,
Yeah,
which, by the way, they're probably paying for out of their own pocket because their health insurance wasn't that good.
yeah,
That's a problem, you know?
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
take your point though about William. I wanted to say when you were saying about what he said at the BAFTAs,
mm,
you can spin it, the emotional regulation and everything, but I think what the country needs is they need the very strong, ruthless William.
yep.
And I take your point that it wasn't well timed and it wasn't good optics, because I think the country needs someone who appears to be strong enough to do what's needed to be done, and they sort of equate all the mental health stuff with, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I sound really awful, but they equate that with Harry. So it's not good for William's brand because he needs to be completely separate from all that stuff. That
Well,
if I was advising him, that's what I'd say
well, I
anyway.
think that, William has come out in the past couple weeks about his work with mental health. The issue with Harry is that he's just a hypocrite about it. And he's
Yeah,
clearly
true,
not
true.
getting good shrinkiness.
No,
I
no.
mean, I've got a shrink. She's amazing. If I
Yeah,
act like a jerk, she slaps me down. It's like, knock it off.
yeah,
He's not
yeah,
getting that. He's getting LA shrinkery, which is more like,
yeah, yeah.
You're so
So you
wonderful.
need therapy because of your therapist.
Oh, girl. No,
I
my
wish you could
therapist,
recommend you to someone.
honey, honestly, I'm loud and proud about her. She literally is just like, yeah, no, that's
It's
nonsense.
just worrying that she slaps you down. I'm thinking,
Oh, no, 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 not slaps me down, but I
not
definitely,
literally,
we
not
all
literally,
need
right?
somebody when we're talking nonsense to go, yo, you
Yeah,
talking some nonsense,
yeah, true.
or hey, actually, why
Yeah.
don't you think about it from this person's perspective?
Yes, for
I don't think
sure.
I
Yeah.
don't think all has us getting that. You know what I mean? And
No, no.
I think you're right. Like in England, especially right now, they don't have a strong prime minister. They don't have a strong king, and the public is yearning for someone to just be like, "Buck stops here, buddy,
They
now."
want a Viking. They want a Viking.
Well, I mean, is William a Viking? I
He
would take.
looks like a Viking.
Does he? Well, maybe if we put a
Yeah.
helmet on him with like the horn.
Blonde, blue eyes,
Okay, you're
big
right.
shoulders.
I've just
Looks like a Viking to me.
never seen a bald Viking. They always seem to have that long
Oh,
hair.
he can have his horns on.
Okay, thank you. That's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna mock up a photo of William in a Viking horn.
Yeah, well, that'd be pretty good, I think. Yeah.
Totally. And
But we
then
don't
Kate's
we
already
don't
got the
want we don't want
bandit
a
back.
Viking telling us about his feelings. So I mean, we do in the context of the life hacks program. I love that. I thought he came
Mhm.
across as very genuine. And one of the things that I really admire about him is the fact that he did the air ambulance thing, because that is life changing
Yeah.
when you're actually out there doing that sort of work.
Yep.
And he did it for 2 years. And he was on the front line and he was seeing people horribly injured, and
Yeah.
and so that is life changing. I think that gives him his compassion.
But it's also, here's the deal. Therapy is supposed to be private that you do to better yourself. It's not supposed to be a preachy tool that you bang around with people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And the other
Although it
thing.
was to support a charity
Oh,
that
no, no,
was
no. I
not
I think we're
not
talking
him.
I think we're talking about the
Yeah,
same thing on
yeah,
different angles. I
yeah, yeah.
totally hear you.
Sure.
I just
Yeah,
mean
yeah,
like, well, my truth and me, because then
yeah,
that's
yeah,
narcissism as opposed
yeah.
to
Mm.
actually sitting and being like, hold on, let me.
The
But
word salady version, and
what I love
that's
that
where
you
they
brought
they
up,
bring it back to themselves all the time, and they haven't.
everything,
They need someone to say, make it about, push it out,
yeah,
push it out, push your
yourself.
feelings out to other people. Don't bring it all everything back to yourself, because it become a very bad habit.
Oof, it becomes boring. But
Yeah.
the other thing is, what you just said about William doing something for 2 years, and they're continually doing the work. And I want to look at Harry and be like, I love that you're now trying to start all these charities, right? But at the same time, Boo, yes, we know you live in Montecito.
Yeah.
15
Yeah.
minutes away in East Santa Barbara, you've got very low income housing. You also,
Right.
so you could work with homeless there. You could work with downtrodden. You also live in a fire prone area. You could go be a volunteer firefighter. And
Yeah. And he
yet
just does
he isn't.
photo
He likes to
ops.
parachute
Yeah.
in. Hello, I'm here. And then
Yeah,
go
photo
back
op with
home.
Prince Harry. That was hilarious, that first responder photo with the fireys and Harry. 'Cause the look on
Oh,
the firey's face, he just looked
uh-huh.
like, really? What am I
Yeah,
doing here? Why do I have to do this? Yeah,
100%. He was like,
yeah,
nice to see you for the first and only time. Bye.
yeah, yeah.
You
What's the
know.
point of this?
Oh,
Yeah,
well, thank
exactly.
you so much, Shauna. I love chatting with you. You are
Oh,
just,
thank you. I love chatting with
I
you.
wish you lived in New York and we could just chat all the time.
Yeah, it'd be great. And
I know.
I loved it. Thanks, Paula. And Paula's going to come back on the Vintage Read Show, aren't you, Paula?
Oh my God.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. That'll be fun.
that's
So we'll continue the
her happy
conversation.
chance. Yes. All right.
You
Thanks,
can
you
bring
guys.
Stanley. You can bring Stanley the stuffed. What is it?
Turkey. Hi, Stanley.
Yeah, you should make that your thumbnail.
Little Stanley. Yay. I mean, listen, my thumbnail right now, people are like, are you AI? And I'm like, oh God, I wish. Yeah, it
That's
wouldn't
a
be such
compliment.
embarrassment.
That's a real compliment. Yeah.
All right.
You're that
Mwah. Love you
perfect.
guys. Thank you. I'm going to play
Okay.
this outro.
Bye, everyone. See ya.
Bye.